Hmm. All right. My name's Steve Horncole, prior military police, and let's just say I got the insides and outs of what's been going on. Most of our cops are corrupt. The whole departments are corrupt. Let me start out with it like this. I'm a disabled vet, and my back, I was in severe pain, probably 5 or 6 years. Anyhow, I ended up getting a HUD place out on Aranac Court in Westland, Michigan. When I was living there, the place was just nasty. I mean, I went there and there was a thing of potatoes that had turned to mush, leaving a stain. There was a box of Bisquick. At the bottom of it, it was bowed out. It was in there so long. So I'm like, this place is disgusting. So I ended up, I went to the place, asked, this place ain't even been clean. Well, the lady's all pissed at me. She goes over, she's mad, and come back and the same stuff is there. So I'm trying to get things done. I ended up having, like, when I moved some furniture, there's mold like that high along the whole walls in my bedroom, in the closet where I didn't see, ruined leather coats and all kinds of stuff in there. The bed was all nasty. There was feet about that high and about, it goes up like this, about 4 or 5 feet of mold. It was just all over the place, all the way around the outside. So I go and I asked the local HUD in Detroit. I went up there and talked to him, and this Native American lady, yeah, I'll get back to you and whatever. Never heard back from her again. So here I am trying to get something done. I believe I even connected with the HUD in Washington, and I ended up starting to picket this guy out in front of his business. And he also runs first step, second step, step, whatever. He's got all this Skrilla coming in. So here he's running this drug interdiction, whatever. And the guys are telling me that they're cutting grass, or not, maybe not cutting grass, but I know they started that business, but they were doing other stuff to make money. The guys were telling me, hey, they're paying us pack one or two packs of cigarettes, whatever. They said that they're always getting expired food. So here I am, cops interaction. First ones, I need their body cams. All their body cams. So here we are. I'm like, son, let me show you how do you do this. So I go through, I make the report, Judge Sandra Ferrant Cicerelli, and the landlord's there, I'm there, and Judge Sandra Ferrant Cicerelli, I had it all laid out. I knew the law, and then she says, nope, we're throwing you guys to a shelter. And I'm like, what just happened, man? So we ended up in a shelter in Detroit, and it ended up, where was I? We ended up in a shelter in Detroit, but we got thrown out. So here, when we get out of the shelter, I'm like looking at the internet. Here I'm finding the judge, the mayor, and the slumlord, all in pictures, all their praises to each other. And so I started going to the city council meetings. I noticed, first there's a couple of cops in the back. All of a sudden, there's 7, 8, 9 cops filled in that place all along the back, because I'm going in there and I'm just giving them a hard time. The thing that scared them the most, I had a paper or a white paper cardboard thing cut out, said "Sword of Truth." Now cut any liars' tongues out if they just open their mouth. Whole city council, the cop on the dais, all the cops. Anyways, I'm doing this over and over and over again, and I end up, the day that they went and got a PPO against me. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is a PPO. So I went there anyways. That's the first time they arrested me, gave me 90 days for breaking a PPO. I was just going to city council meeting, making fun of them. All that shit scrubbed off. All the picture of the mayor and the judge and the slumlord, that scrubbed off the internet. I went back. I don't know, maybe I did it wrong, but the Wayback Machine, I can't find it in the Wayback Machine. That's all gone. So anyways, I get out of there, and I just got over the PTSD to where I can put this together all mostly. And so anyhow, I ended up all during this stuff, you know, and I ended up having bariatric surgery. So I don't know if I had the stitches, but the meat was still sticking out where the stitches were. And being procedure, the first thing you ask for is, hey, this guy have medical. So here I'm going freaking nuts. My daughter's scared. She won't bring me to the VA hospital. They won't send an ambulance unless I can talk to them. But my mind's being scrambled because of the dehydration from the bariatric surgery. And so here we are. I throw some stuff on the ground, knock it on the ground, and they ended up arresting me. But here I am. They wanted to shut me up because I kept going back and going back. So I'm having the bariatric surgery, and they're booking me in. I'm showing them the meat. Freaking hanging. I'm like, get me to the hospital. Get me to the hospital. So here I go. They arrest me. They're all in on it. Every fucking cop. And it's not just 1, 2, or whatever. They're all in on it. The entire city is in on it. And where was I? So here I am. I go in booking. And they know I'm having a medical emergency. I got the meat sticking out. And they end up throwing me in the nastiest cell. No mattress. They took my blanket. And I'm freaking out. I mean, it got to the point, guys are yelling at me in the middle of the night or early morning to be quiet. But here I am. I can hear in my neck and in my ears like jello going through your teeth, you know. And I was so messed up. Shit and snot and food all over. Some sort of orange stuff about that thick that was coming up chipping off the ground. And I'm freaking out, you know, and I'm like, I ended up crawling to the toilet because I'm like, listen, this is a medical emergency. I would have crawled over. I put my hand in the toilet just like these guys got to do something. I'm looking there, and there's a bull dyke blonde hair, and somebody was standing next to her, and they're just looking. And I got up. I'm freaking out. You know, you're waiting for me to die. You're waiting for me to die. Whatever I was saying. And in the morning, I'm screaming all night, just have an ambulance in the morning, have an ambulance in the morning, And these suckers, they got me out in the morning, and they were all lined up, every single one, probably 6 or 8 of them. If we got the video, we got the video. And they were all, they all had a smile on their faces. I'm walking out and freaking out, and they put me out front, and there's an old man and an old woman. They're looking all confused, and I'm like, I go out to the front door, and I'm like, where's my ambulance? Where's my ambulance? And the officer in the front goes like this, like, get the fuck out. No ambulance. They wanted me to fucking die that night. So, I'm stumbling down the street, making calls, you know, Subway, there was coffee place. I ended up down to a place on the middle of Ford Road in Wayne. And, what I heard from other people, they told us that he was all right, yada da da da. Hey, each and every single one of them, he's all right. Finally, when I'm stumbling down to Ford Road in Wayne, they finally show up with the ambulance, and all the hero cops show up in the ambulance. They're like getting a nod and a wink. I'm freaking out, and they went and joined in on the crime. And I tell you what. It's the same thing with the guy they murdered named William Marshall. The ambulance people were on it. And anyhow, then I ended up in the nastiest jail. I mean, the food there was so nasty downtown Detroit. I mean, it was like goulash, but it was all soaked in water, no flavor. It was all gushy. But that's just how the food was there. And I ended up doing 2 or 3 months there. Then they send me to Walter Reuther Psychiatric Hospital. You can't get out unless you're walking out once in a while when they bring you outside. And, but it was keep me locked away where I couldn't talk to nobody. So I ended up staying there for a year. They put you on drugs like they usually do. I had to take them for a year afterwards, but I'm still trying to get my brain back together. So what I'm noticing is my old Facebook, my Gmail, all that stuff's gone, but I think my son said something about deleting them, but I don't know if we get them back. And my old Westland corruption Facebook, that was the one where I would take the city council meetings and then I'd edit them and put what my thing was in between. So now that's all scrubbed. I went to the Westland website. All that stuff is scrubbed. I tried the Wayback Machine. It's all scrubbed. The pictures are scrubbed. And I'm like, I'm still freaking out. And they killed about 3 months afterwards a man named William Marshall. So I'm out there picketing with their family and got a free shirt. So that's scrubbed. That video is scrubbed by the local news. It's nowhere online. I can't find it. The actual protest where they're all out there, and I don't know how many other videos that they've deleted. And that's the local news. So it's all a cover-up, and they're all part of the system, and it's just them doing their thing, and it's not just the cops, it's all the whole system there, the judges, everybody. And where was I? Anyhow, I'm at this corner of Wayne and Ford Road. I'm out there. I got all kinds of signs. I got a chair to my back and whatever. I'm set up, and I got big 4x8 sheets of cardboard. I got signs at Cicerelli's Courts, Kangaroo Court. I had all kinds of stuff, but all that stuff's gone. But they should have all them body cams. Every step that I took, every time they had any contact with me at the slumlord's property, anywhere. Corner of Wayne and Ford, any contact, they should be able to have that stuff available. And they don't. It's all gone. It's all scrubbed off the internet. Wayback Machine can't find it either. So anyhow, where was I? I got out, I'm still putting my brain together over these years. And like I said, this is the first time, because it was like my record was scratched, and it was just skipping all over the place. I couldn't have a thought in a linear fashion. So anyways, I'm here now. I just saw in 2023, there was a post that a new film came out that there were 4 or 5 other officers involved. And the hero cop has his wife come out. Well, we're so offended. Oh, why is he because you're all freaking a criminal. Attempted murder on me. And murder on William Marshall. It was murder because he had the drugs and they kept him in there and didn't get him to the hospital, and they got every fucking excuse why it didn't happen. Oh, well, it was unfortunate that we didn't get him there quicker. He was only there you just swallowed crack and you say he was there for a few hours. They want them dead. They wanted me dead. They killed William Marshall, attempted murder on me, and they were all in on it, all the way from the city council meetings, all of it. So I'm here to take down the whole system, the whole kit and caboodle. Westland, Michigan needs to be made an example of. It's not just 1 cop or 2 cops. I tell you, I just saw a video of yours the other day where the lady was there. She was a woman. You don't do that here. Well, wait, you're pointing at him, the fall guy, but you're not pointing at her. It's a whole system of corruption through the entire judicial and law and cops and all this stuff. And now it comes up 2023, the William Marshall's family is angry about something, because I only need to watch a few seconds of it, man. I was like, oh, there it goes again. And this wussy cop is sitting there wondering why he's the only one that's in trouble. So whether it's past statute limitations, because they murdered William Marshall. I don't know if there's a statute of limitations on attempted murder, but if somebody got all that stuff, somebody got into the digital and got all the stuff that's been scrubbed off the internet, all my website, all that, I can prove it all. I just don't know how to get to the stuff. I'll try the Wayback Machine again later, see what happens, see if I can find it. But everything I looked for last night, all the city council things looked like they were gone. All of my stuff's gone. I can't do the Wayback Machine and find my old website. So whether it's past whatever, the story needs to come out step by step. And it's the whole system here. The judges, I was in there freaking out. And they brought me to the court that they brought me to. The court they brought me to, you'll see me crazy. I think it was right when they took my guns. And I'm talking, hey, we're going to round you up. Hey, we're going to round you up. Hey, man, maybe Trump will help round you up. Maybe I'll get to put handcuffs on all the time. But I think it was when they took my guns, and I really got mad about that. And I had my machete, and I'm like, I'll fucking chase your asses down. I was fucking mad. But I was also freaking sparking like you wouldn't believe. And they ended up using that to have me locked up, took all my stuff, took all my computers. Here we are. My mind finally got clear. I says, hey, I want my electronics. Well, wait outside, come on up here and wait outside and we'll get it for you. 3 heroes with guns come out. They got body cams. And they hand me a phone I've never seen the jack for. Well, this is the only thing that was left. My computers, my cameras, everything is gone. But they said that this is all we had left. It was all either destroyed or everything was destroyed or auctioned off. And all they can hand me is a camera or a phone that ain't even mine. It's so old that the connection, I don't recognize it. So they're playing a game. So I'm sure all that stuff is gone now. But I just like somebody, I'm living on Social Security and $143 a month from the military. And, I just like somebody that knows what they're doing to get in there and find all that stuff. And, please don't put anything out until they got some, get some warrants for all this stuff. Every police engagement, everything. And like I said, the slumlords getting all that money. The guys are telling me, hey, we're getting expired food to eat and all this stuff. And the places are nasty and stacked up like sardines in there. And that's just the beginning of it. So when I send this to you, don't say nothing until they get all the warrants out. I don't have money for a lawyer. If it's past that limitations or whatever. But I'm telling you, they murdered that man. They attempted murder me, and they are abusive, and they are scum. Every one of them, all of them at the city council meetings, all came out there on the corner of Ford and Wayne when I'm protesting. They finally got to the point, well, if you don't leave now, we are going to arrest you. My civil rights, right? How many times did they violate my Fourth Amendment? I think it's my Fourth Amendment, First Amendment. But all this stuff, man, this whole system of Westland, Michigan needs to go down. And I'm the guy that used to be an MP. I didn't have a problem with my military time. But I was in corrections, and I wasn't out there too much. But when I go through booking and there's a couple extra knees here and there, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? It's supposed to be only a amount of force necessary. And I don't know who it was in booking behind me. All I hear is crushing crew. All ego. So, every time I watch a video where the cops are there and then they shut the voice off and they're planning how they're going to screw this person. That's what they're doing. Body cams need to go, no buttons, no way of shutting them off. The whole time they need to be recorded. And that stuff needs to be available, readily available. You got to come up with so many dollars for every single one of them, and then we'll burn it on a disc for you, is what they used to do. We poor people ain't got all the money to go do that. That stuff should be readily available online, or somebody should, if it's healing or anything like that, have it where somebody with authority can get there and look at it. I'm just fed up with it, man. These people owe me money. They owe me everything, and I'm going to take them all down. Cicerelli, Wild, I think the guy was Mike Johnson. He's in charge of that first step, second step, step backwards, snap to attention, whatever. He's in charge of all that stuff. He's getting all that money, and he's feeding the guys like animals. Someone tell me, like I said, they're paying them for cigarettes. They have a guy come over to fix my house, and they sent him over with a guy on a bike. A guy on a bike. He's either a drug addict or an alcoholic, and he has a doubled up grocery bag, and he's got like screwdrivers that are got a curved end on them, and a couple wrenches here and there, and he just had a little bit of tools at the bottom, and they're sending that crackhead out there, whatever he is, to do the repairs. And as far as I know, in the places, they're supposed to have certified people in there. You know, it was all nasty. The front corner room, when you walk in there, the front corner bedroom, the floor bounces. You go there and it's bouncing because you know all the joists underneath there are rotted. And he's got all this money coming in, probably doing payoffs in the background. I go to the FBI. That should be there. The interview with the FBI. This is what's going on. And what do the FBI in Detroit tell me? Oh, if it becomes part of a bigger investigation, we'll let you know. That's my civil rights. So the low FBI ain't worth a shit either. Everybody here needs to be brought to accounting, but I don't want to be killed because I'm not too far away. But this has to come out. You know, if I got somebody that got all this stuff, I'd like to have it too. And then whatever we got to do it. But like I said, William Marshall's family, I don't think they've answered me back yet. I contacted 4 of them on Facebook, like, hey, you related to him, you related? Because one of the ladies from that family, I don't know when it was, but she sent me one little message, thank you. That was it. So, you know, all the shit scrubbed. She scrubbed all of the city council meetings, all the stuff from my old Facebooks are gone, and my Gmail and everything's gone off of that. You know, I'd like to have that Gmail back, and hopefully with all the other stuff in it. So here I am. I'm reaching out. Whatever you do it very well, but you're always pointing at that one person. You're always pointing at that one cop. And like I said, here, the one cop's got his wife out there crying for me. Hey, I don't understand. Why is he the only one in trouble? Because you're all criminals. You're all the thin blue lie. L-I-E. I will burn that flag. Thin blue lie. And all that means is I got your 6. And then he, oh, you don't know why. I'm the only one. Because you're just a useful tool. And once you no longer became useful, you were the fall guy. But it's all of you that are guilty. Y'all tried to murder me by keeping me from medical attention. I'm stumbling down there. And finally they ended up locking me up. However, this came out in order, man. It's still not 100% in order, but you know, with all that stuff, if I was able to get the Facebook, my old Googles and all that stuff back, my old email back, you know, whether there's something there or not, I'd like to see it, man. Whoever's got the power to find it. Because Wayback Machine, as far as I know, you can't find nothing on there. It's all been scrubbed. Local news is in on it. Somebody there deleted it off the local news. I only know of one video, but was there 2 or 3 other videos that were scrubbed too? Well, I know the one that I was at when I got the shirt was scrubbed. But every single contact, every body cam, everything, I would like them to just get everything and, you know, go from there. So whatever we got to do, if you want to contact me, you can contact me. You'll know I ain't hiding. So any questions you want to answered, just let me know. Because I ain't putting up with this shit. And I do have one cop. I was yesterday out. Somebody was like, said something. And I like pulled my sweater off and, you know, because I had, whoa, thank you for serving, because I had my MP hat on. I don't know what happened to it. But that lady was, you know, I says, well, I got something to show you. So I was taking my hoodie off and, you know, oh, I totally agree with you. And then I had a cop. I'm walking in there, or I'm walking out when I'm leaving. There was I think one or 2 other people that said something about it. But when I'm leaving, there's a cop right there in front of Myers. And, you know, he says, I totally agree with you. I had the MP hat on and I had the shirt on. So there's got to be good cops out there. But we need to call the shit when it's the shit, because it ain't just one cop, it's the whole system. When that lady at that clerk, well, we don't do that, we don't want, it's the whole system. They all cover each other, including the judges and everybody else. So let me know what you think.